Hello and good evening, everybody. I hope that everybody is doing absolutely wonderful. Welcome to I Am My Morning Coffee. This is an evening edition, and I am doing an evening edition because this is some pertinent information that I really feel like need to get out to everybody that I know and people that you know. So as you come in, please like, please share, and let's go ahead and get started and let's talk about finances tonight. I'm really, really excited. So as you come in the room, could you please share? I would greatly appreciate it. And again, I am excited that you are here with me. And let me know when you've come in. Wave, speak, say hello, say hi, I'm here, because we want to know who we have with us this evening, okay? And we are going to get started promptly at 7:05. So we're going to give you the opportunity to come in, invite people. If you want to transform your finances, you want to be here. Listen, we just got through praying in the virtual backstage, and it was powerful. I think that there's going to be some very, very pertinent information that's going to be shared with you this evening that you can take with you on your financial journey. And if you're ready to be good stewards and you're ready for God to give you some information that is going to change your financial future, please join us. Go ahead, like, share, and again, we're going to get started right at 7:05. So who do we have in the room? Go ahead and comment and let us know that you're here. All right. We even have the whole green setup for y'all. We are not playing this evening. We are going to set some people free. We are meant to be wealthy. We are meant to be financially sound. We are meant to be good stewards over our finances, and we are going to be equipped with the tools that's necessary to do that. All right. So let me know if you are here. All right. So glad to have you all this evening. Please like and share as you come on in the room, and we're going to get started promptly at 7:05. It is 7:03, so that is 120 seconds, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So who do we have with us this evening? I am so excited to have Miss Tracey Powell on. She is going to bring some phenomenal information. She has really changed my financial forecast. Like she has really amazed me. And she's really blessed me with the information that she's provided. She's really coached me into she's coaching me still into this financial future. This financial picture that I just never thought was available to me. And I'm thankful for her. I'm so thankful for her. So hey, Donnell. All right. So we have Donnell in the room. Hello, welcome, sir. I'm so glad to have you. All right. Hello, Tracey. Thank you so much for coming in the room. Who else do we have? All right, it's 7:04, guys. We have less than 60 seconds before we get this train rolling. I want to know who's with me. Who wants to make their finances? Yes, thank you, Tracey. I am excited that you are here as well. Welcome to I Am My Morning Coffee. I know it's not morning, but you can have coffee any time of the day. So welcome to I Am My Morning Coffee, where God is our barista, praise and worship is our cream and sugar. And this evening, Tracey Powell will be our coffee. So what do you mean that praise and worship is our cream and sugar? We are going to praise God with our finances on tonight. We're going to praise God through education on tonight. And I am so excited to have Miss Tracey Powell here to share some very good information and resources with us. So as you come in the room, you can come on in. And again, please like and share. And we're going to go ahead and get the party started. So let me introduce Miss Tracey Powell, who is a powerful and a very powerful resource as it pertains to finances. And I'm going to read her bio because I don't want to miss a thing. Miss Powell is a leader in financial literacy, banking, and finance. She is dedicated to the wellness and personal growth of families in metropolitan communities as well as rural areas. She strives for excellence as she creates, directs, and participates in programs that empower individuals and families to be productive members of the community. Ms. Powell's career has mainly focused on the banking and finance industry. She has always found time to educate clients on how to improve their credit scores, create savings plans, and follow their budgets. Many of her clients have become homeowners and small business owners with her guidance and coaching. She continues to be an active volunteer at Marietta Housing Authority, where she facilitates financial literacy workshops. Ms. Powell has a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Business Management and a Master's of Business Administration Marketing from St. Leo University. She is a certified housing development finance professional and a Toastmasters competent communicator. Her education and experience gave her the foundation to assist Invest Atlanta in their mission to revitalize the city of Atlanta through creating sound, established communities of people that truly care about their neighborhoods. Ms. Powell is the Operation Hope Financial Well-Being Coach for Atlanta Public Schools. In this role, she promotes financial dignity through assisting participants in their increasing their credit scores, increasing their savings, and reducing their debts while creating a mentality of wealth that will last them for a lifetime. Most significantly, she is a realtor with Keller Williams, a certified HUD housing counselor, the founder and CEO of Thrive Now 78 Incorporated, a nonprofit organization that focuses on educating and providing the tools necessary for her audience to live a wealthy life, mentally, spiritually, financially, physically, and relationally. Peeling back the layers of your past life will help you build a strong foundation for your future. This is Tracey Powell. Hello, Tracey.
Hello. I almost asked, who is she talking about?
We are talking about you. You are the person that is qualified to talk to us this evening. You are the person that is going to coach us into some beautiful finances. So I am so glad that you are here. I want to encourage everybody to come in. Please like and share as you come in the room. We have a powerful resource with us this evening. And Tracey, I just wanted to let you know that prayer before we came on was powerful.
Amen.
So let me also announce she's a woman of God.
Yes, without him, I am nothing.
Okay?
You and guide me in everything that I do, and I'm so grateful that he put us together and allowed us to have relationship. And I'm so grateful that he set this stage for you to be able to have a platform to help others. And I'm so proud to be a part of it tonight.
Thank you. I so appreciate you. And I am, again, I'm honored. I don't take anybody's time lightly. We are going to try to get as much information in as we can. And around 7:45, we'll do some Q&A, bring some people on the camera if they want to, and we'll educate the people. So let's jump right in. So give us more insight into who you are, what you do, and why are you passionate about this work?
Well, again, I'm Tracey Powell. I am a financial well-being coach for Operation Hope. I am a realtor with Keller Williams. I have a nonprofit called Thrive Now 78, and it's all about empowering others to be the best that they can be. I've always been someone that wanted to help people. I just believe that we perish for the lack of knowledge. Mm-hmm. And when I started my career in finance, I was in the bank and I saw people come in. They didn't know how to write a check. They didn't know how to balance their checkbooks. They didn't know how to keep a ledger. They didn't know what a budget was. And this is at an early age. And I learned this in school because I was in the Magna program for financial services. So we had to learn it. So I thought everybody knew it.
Wow.
I took for granted that people knew. And when I found out that they didn't, it became my passion to teach people, because these are the things that we needed to know in order to live a better life. How can you have more if you don't know how to get more? How can you establish yourself with a strong foundation for your credit, for your finances, for life, if nobody's taught you the necessary tools in order to do it? Yeah. So I truly believe in what I do is helping people create a strong foundation of wealth by breaking up the grounds that they already have laid. Because a lot of times the grounds that we've laid are based on what we learned when we were children, based on what our family has done, based on what we've seen, and we have not been privy to others who lived a different life. And what I mean by that, a life of wealth, a life of growth, a life of knowing that there is no ceiling on what I can do and who I can be.
Right.
So it's just going into relationship with someone saying, okay, now I see this is where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how did you get here? Because we don't think about how we got somewhere. We just think at the fact that I'm here. Now, the question is, once we realize how we got there, do we want to continue to do those things so we stay there? Or do we want to change our actions, change the things that we do, and get a little more comfortable so that we can be comfortable later?
Right. Get a little comfortable so we can be comfortable later. Already.
You know, a lot of times people say, well, that's going to be hard. You know, do you have anything else I can do? Why does it have to take so much? Anything worth having is worth working for, and it's worth going through a little bit of pain to get there. The pain is only a pruning stage. And when you look at flowers that bloom, they've been pruned in order to bloom. And so when it's crazy because when I think about growing up in my neighborhood, a lot of people went to the buy here, pay here place.
Yeah.
Or a lot of people bought their furniture. They rented their furniture, but they never owned it.
Wow.
You know, or, you know, people would go and get a title pawn loan. And it wasn't because they had bad credit. It wasn't because they couldn't go to the bank, but what it was because mama did it, grandmama did it.
Wow. Yeah.
Nobody told me I can go to the bank. Right. And a lot of times we're starting off creating a credit profile that's subpar because nobody's ever told us how to create a better profile by going to the bank, by starting off with creating a profile with a secure credit card. Or as a parent, if I have good credit, adding my 17-year-old or 18-year-old on my credit card as an authorized user. So once they get to college and they get into the world on their own, they already start off in the 700s. They already have great credit, you know? And so we're setting a foundation. We're starting it off great. But the best part about it is no matter where you are in life, no matter what you've done, as long as you have breath in your body, it can always change.
That's right. That's right. Wow.
If we have some hiccups, if things happen that knock us off, guess what? We can always get back on the bike and we can always ride again and we can always make it better than it was. So that's the best part about it. A lot of people come to me discouraged. They come to me feeling like life is just has not given them a fair shake. Like there is nothing that they can do to change. And that's all a lie. It's a lie that we're telling ourselves.
Yeah.
And so we have to look at where we are and how we got there in order to change things. And when we talk about building a strong foundation, we are looking at our credit.
Yes.
We're looking at our finances. We're looking to see, do we have a budget?
Yes.
And we look to see if we have a savings account. Every time I ask somebody, do you have a savings account? Most of the times they say yes. And I said, well, is this the type of account that you make withdrawals from? And they say yes. And I tell them that's a temporary account. That's not a savings account. The savings account is the account that you use where you don't take money out of.
Right.
Where you actually are able to save. And let me tell you, the rule of thumb for a savings account is to have at least 6 months of your bills.
Say that one more time for the people that may have missed it.
For your savings account is to have at least 6 months of your bills saved in that account, and that's your baseline.
Wow.
Now, I know it's not easy to get there. I know it takes time, but that should be a goal of all of ours.
Yeah.
Because think about it. There were people who were laid off during this pandemic.
Yes.
There were people who actually had to wait months before they started to get their unemployment.
Wow.
What were they able to do? How did they make it? Thank God that there were resources available for some, but there
Yeah.
were some who didn't have it. I
Right.
have people now that are hungry because they're still waiting. They're begging their landlords to let them stay
Man.
because they're still waiting.
Wow.
It's not that it's just an easy road, because some people are getting, unemployment, and they get the extra 600 right now.
Right.
Everybody hasn't gotten theirs. So people are struggling. But guess what would happen if we all started to save?
Yeah.
And in that savings account, we had a baseline of 6 months of our bills.
Yeah.
So that means that
Wow.
if your total bills, that's including your mortgage, your rent, your car note, your insurance, your food that you eat,
Yeah.
daycare, entertainment, everything that you spend in a month,
Right.
add that up. Multiply that by 6. And that should be your goal for your savings account. It's going to take some people 2 to 3 years to put that money up. Some
Yeah.
people will take longer. Some
Wow.
people can do it if they just shift the way they spend. They can do it in a couple of months.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's good. That's really good.
it's really about stepping back and watching yourself from a different lens.
Ooh. Let me just interject and say, since you have been coaching me, I have seen myself differently. Seriously. And it's almost like sometimes having an out of body experience, because I'm not making the same decisions that I used to make. I'm not anxious about certain things anymore. I can now walk away from certain things that I may have wanted to purchase or something like that. And I'll say, you know what, this goal is worth more. And if I can't pay cash for it, then evidently I can't afford it. So it has totally made me look at my own life and my own financial future way differently. So you're absolutely correct. And I thank you. I thank you for that. That's good. That's a really good point.
You are so welcome, but I wish everybody was like you, because you listen. And when I
haven't always done that, but
when I give you advice, you take it and you use it. And I can see how you're elevating and how God is just blessing you in every area of your life, because you've taken the stance to say, I will be better. I will do better. I am better than I was yesterday. And we actually have to wake up every day with an affirmation.
Yes. Okay.
And the affirmation has to be something for you that will motivate you to do better than you did yesterday.
That's good.
And it needs to push you. It needs to get you out of your comfort zone.
Right.
It could be as simple as, I am healthy.
Yeah.
And when you look at that, what does that mean? That means I'm healthy in my finances. I'm not late on my bills anymore.
Right.
I'm healthy in my savings. That means that every month I'm adding more and more to it. It could be $5, but I added more.
That's right.
Nobody can tell me what my amount is. My amount is based on what I can afford. You can say, I'm healthy with my credit because it just went up 5-10 points. Because I paid this on time. Because I got rid of this bill. Because I've actually looked to see how much I owe. And guess what? I'm keeping my balances 30% or less of my limit on every credit card that I have. Did you all catch that? 30% or less.
Y'all catch that? Y'all need to write that down. Say that one more time. And hello, Olivia. Glad that you're here. I hope you came in with a pen and a piece of paper. But say that one more time, Tracey. That was good. That was a good point.
We're just talking about the affirmation, and I said credit. And a lot of times we wonder why our credit scores will not increase or shift to a positive place. And a lot of times it's because our revolving debt, which is like our credit cards, our lines of credit. Yes, Donnell, 30% or less on credit cards. You are right.
Thank you, Donnell.
You keep that. If you keep your credit cards there and you make sure you make your payments on time every month, you'll start to see an increase in your credit scores. Now, this is another thing in looking at the call. Is it called Jay?
Carl. His name is Carl.
I like Carl. Hey, Carl. When you look at all of the things that you're doing on your credit, you have to make sure that you know what makes up the credit score.
Yeah.
And one big thing a lot of people look at is they say, well, I'll pay on time. But that's not enough.
So it's not enough to pay your credit card on time.
It's not enough.
Okay.
Because if you are maxed out on a credit card, or if you're over the limit on the credit card, lenders and creditors, they will look at you as a high risk.
Yeah.
And so when they look at you as a high risk, they say, guess what? The score's got to go down because we can't give them anything. They're high risk.
Yeah.
So when it's not enough just to pay it on time, it's like now you've got to start reducing the balances.
Okay.
So I know some people go to the department stores and they say, well, if you use your card, you get an additional off. Guess what? The additional that you are getting off of that merchandise is less than the interest that you're paying on that merchandise if you're carrying a balance. So when you look at it in that respect, you would say, I don't want to carry a balance, so I'm saving more money by paying cash for this item.
Right.
And if I don't have the cash, I don't need it.
That's it.
You know, and so it's now time to rethink our spending.
Yeah.
With people being stuck at home, I'm in this group called Dollar Divas, and you all may be in the group. And every day they give us something new that's on Amazon that's for sale. And it's a great discount. And so I found myself getting in the habit of hitting click, 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 click. And I said, whoa, I didn't need it. I didn't need it. So the last time I did that, I actually went back and I deleted it. I canceled the order because I didn't need it.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, I can't tell you how to do this if I'm not going to do it myself. I truly believe in walking the walk. If you're going to talk the talk, walk the walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm a living example of what it looks like to actually do what you need to do.
Right.
So you're right. If I don't have it in my account, I do not need it. Olivia, right. And I'm telling you, it's so funny how just the small things that we do can change how our credit reflects who we are.
Say that again.
The small things we do can actually change how our credit will reflect who we are. So if you think about just paying on your bills on time, if you think about making sure that your limits are 30% or less, your balances are 30% or less of your limit.
Almost, Donnell. Almost. About 7:45. We'll be there. If you want to come on, then I can send you the link. Just let me know. But I'm sorry, I apologize. Go ahead, Tracey.
No, it's good. You know, but when we look at our credit, you got to think about how you are paying your payment history.
Yeah.
With your payment history, you want to look at your limits versus your balances. You want to look at the types of credit that you have. Did you know that a lot of people don't know that having a major credit card is better than having a department store credit card? It does weigh differently on your credit.
So a major credit
card, like Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express.
Really?
That is different tiers to your credit.
Okay.
It's different tiers, and they don't tell you that. They don't show you that. But you can have a Macy's, you can have a Home Depot card, or you can have a Visa, American Express, Discover. Now, the person with just the Macy's and the Home Depot can keep their limits at 30% or less. And they're going to tier up and the scores are going to go up. But then the person that has the American Express, the Discover, and the Visa, their limit's the same. And their scores are going to be higher than that person who just has the department store credit cards.
Interesting.
Because there are different levels. That's just like someone who goes to a car lot to buy their car from a buy here, pay here place.
Yeah.
And someone who goes to a dealership, but is financed through a bank or a credit union, their credit scores are going to go up higher than someone who went to the buy here, pay here lot. Even though they could have both gone the same place, but sometimes you just don't know what you can do, and you don't know what you can have because nobody's told you.
Right.
So I always tell people, let's start over and let's just where you are. Let's see what you have, and let's look to see how we can get things better. So if someone's out there and they've been to a car lot and their credit score was okay, but their interest rate, always check to see what your interest rate is. A lot of car dealerships go by payment.
Yeah.
And they tell you, can you afford this payment? If you can afford this payment, sign on this dotted line.
That's how I heard it.
For 88 months. And you didn't know that your interest rate was 17 to 21%.
Ooh, which is high. Let me say that.
Yes.
That's high.
It is, but you didn't know that because you were basing it on the payment.
Mm-hmm.
And the payment said, I can afford it.
Right.
You didn't realize that the payment was spread out so long that by the time you pay it off, the car is not worth anything.
Wow.
I mean, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So questions that we have to ask that we don't know to ask is, like, what is my interest rate? How long is this going to be? What's the term?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a prepayment penalty?
Yeah.
What are the fees that you are actually adding into this so that I can, know up front, if I finance the fees in, it's going to be more. But if I pay them up front, maybe it'll be a little bit less.
Yeah.
So you have to know what you're getting into. And don't take for granted because it looks good that it is good for you. Yeah.
Say that again. That's a whole word that you can apply to more than just your finance.
Yeah, you're right. Just
because
it does not mean it's good for you.
Hello.
Yeah.
And I like what Donnell said. He said that someone in auto finance, he can agree that people don't read that part of the contract. And so you buy a $20,000 car, and if you don't do the math, you've paid $40,000 for a $20,000 car that you could have probably paid $15,000 if you walked in with cash.
Yeah, but people are driven by payment.
Driven by payment.
Most people are driven by payment, and what feels good, what looks good is what's going to get me to sign. And so if it looks good, if it feels good to me, if I know I can afford that payment, although you stretched me out for 84 months and I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
And every time I think I'm about done, I got more.
Yeah.
It's all about what Donnell said and what Carl said. Read, ask questions. Know before you sign. But the biggest thing is don't get into debt that you cannot afford.
Don't get into debt that you cannot afford.
And what I mean by that, even if your credit, allows you to purchase something, if it's going to take you out of your comfort zone, knowing what your bills are, knowing what you can afford personally, don't do it. Because let me tell you, even if you go to get a home, your lender is going to approve you based off of your credit rating, your credit score, but they're also going to look at your debt on your credit report. They're not looking at the fact that you pay daycare. They're not looking at how much it costs for you to eat. They're not looking at the insurance that you pay. They're not looking at the other debts that you may have. You may be taking care of a loved one and you're paying for that. They don't look at, the other bills that you have.
Right.
And so they're going to give you an amount that you're approved for. But if that payment makes you uncomfortable, it's okay to kind of roll it back and say, you know what, I'm approved for that amount, but this is the payment that I'm good with.
Wow.
You don't have to take everything that you are approved for.
You don't have to take everything that you're approved for. I like that.
And Carl said it best, do not live above your means. The whole point of this season right now, this season is a season for us to understand how to create wealth for ourselves.
Yeah.
And how to live a better life.
Yes.
I truly believe there are going to be so many of us coming out of this pandemic on fire and in a higher level than when we went in. That it's going to be unbelievable. But we have to understand that we have to roll back our spending. We have to get our credit in line. We have to know where we are. How many of us really know what's on our credit report?
Yeah.
Because there may be some things on there that are not ours. There may be some things that we need to actually dispute or take off or, challenge because it may not be ours. I had a young lady who actually was in an apartment complex. She left her apartment. She left it fine. She even got her deposit back because she did what she was supposed to do. 2 months later, Donnell is he's awesome.
I love Donnell. He's the bomb.
Come on now. But this young lady pulled her credit report and found that the apartment complex in Era put on there that she owed $3,700.
Oh, no.
It was not her. It was her neighbor.
Wow.
It took her having to fight, dispute, and it took 7 months for that to come off with letters. And she had to actually go and show that she had received her money back. She had to show that she had paid on time. She had to prove that it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so it took like 7 months for her to get straight, but it got straight. But look at the fight that she had to go through.
Yeah, the work she had to put
it up. Yeah. So it's always good to know where you are financially, know what your credit score looks like. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to know what you're spending your money on.
Okay.
Every month. I would ask people a lot of times, when you are spending, do you have a budget? And most people say, yeah, I keep it in my head. I know that I got to spend this on this, and I got to pay this, and I got to pay that. But that's not a budget. A budget is actually starting on the baseline of looking at what you spent last month. Just get a bank statement. Go through that bank statement and account for everything that you spent last month.
Yeah. Now,
you're going to have a budget worksheet. That's your baseline for starting a budget. And it's going to let you see how much, first of all, how much your take-home pay is.
Okay.
And then after you look at your take-home pay, look to see what you spent on all of your utilities, your rent, your mortgage, your insurance, your car maintenance, clothing,
everything,
your household items, everything. How many times did you eat out?
Whew.
So when you look at your food expense, your food expense is going to include how much you went to the grocery store for, how much you ate out, how much did you spend on DoorDash, how much did you spend on snacks, all that. And then you want to look to see how much did you do in entertainment? How much are you paying for cable? How much are you paying for Netflix and Hulu? How much are you paying for all of these extras?
Yeah.
And then look to see, okay, my standard bills, like my car, other things that I pay on a monthly basis, my credit cards, things of that nature. And then what you want to do is add it all together.
Yeah.
Now, if you do it right, it should be at or at least more than what your bank statements show in a balance.
Okay.
And so that way, you want to ask yourself, once I add this up and I subtract all of my expenses from my take-home pay, did I have more money left than month? Or did I have more month left than money?
Ooh, did I have more money?
Did I have more money left than month? Or did I have more month left than money?
That's good. I hope y'all are right.
So if you had more month left than money, yes, if you had more month left than money, we have really got to do a new budget.
Okay.
Because you have to look to see what you're spending and you have to dial it back.
Yeah.
So it could be you use the Dave Ramsey envelope method, where he tells you to put a envelope for everything. Now, this is what happens. Once that envelope is empty, you can't spend anymore.
That's
so if you have a gas envelope for your car and you filled your car up enough to that gas envelope, you're not driving.
You staying right where you are.
You're not driving. But what it does, and then your food envelope.
Yeah.
If your food envelope is empty, but you went to the grocery store, but you've been eating out on the other part of that money that was in the envelope, and it's empty, now it's time to go and cook what's in that house.
Yeah.
And how many of us have food in the house that we have to throw out because we ate out so much that the food went bad?
Been guilty.
Now, when we do that, we need to actually look to see how much that food was. And we need to start making menus before we go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And we have to be intentional about what we cook and how we eat. We have to be intentional. Yes, because if not, that's wasted money. When you have to clean out of the refrigerator and throw all that food away, we have to clean out the cabinets and throw that food away. We look at our canned goods and our spices, and they are 5 and 6 years old.
Right.
That's wasted money. First of all, we could have been helping somebody else.
Yeah.
By donating because we were donating.
That's good.
But we also could have saved that money, and that money could have been going in that savings account that we talked about in the beginning that we're all going to do to have 6 months of our bills saved as a baseline.
And then that creates a peace too, though.
Yes.
Because to know that you save when you're doing good.
Yes.
And so to know that you look and you have 6 months worth of save, it just feels good to even see those numbers in the bank account. I'm not there yet. I'm not all the way there, but I'm almost there. And I like it. I like to see those numbers build. That's really, really good. And one thing that you said that I think that I could do better at is assessing my losses. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a good idea to kind of add up. Okay, how much have you lost by having to throw away this food? That's good.
Mm-hmm. Because if you think about it, we think it's small, we think it's little, but it's not. I mean, really, depending on where we are, where we work, we don't know if today is the day that something may change. I mean, this pandemic has shown me not that I can't take anything for granted.
Yeah.
And we have to be grateful for what we have. And, now is if I want to cook something, I'm going to go get that and I'm going to cook it, but I'm not going to buy just because it's on sale, knowing that I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah.
If it's something that I put in my budget to say, I might, because it's on sale, I might want that. I might know it's time to leave that in the store.
Right.
Because that's taken away from the money that I could be using to put in my savings account, or it's money that I could be using to pay my credit cards down below 30% of the limit. It's really good to get to a place where you can pay your credit cards off every month. And especially your department store cards. You really want to get them to zero and leave them there. Yeah. Your other cards, your major cards like Visa, MasterCard, American Express, you want to actually get to a point where you can keep those after you get to 30%. The new goal is to get to 10% of the limit. So that's when we get to the point where we say drop to zero. What I mean by that is if you have a $500 limit, you drop to zero. You should never owe more than $50 on that card.
What's good? I like that.
Yeah. What it's doing is actually making you a low risk.
Yeah.
So when you go to apply for something, if you walk into a dealership and need a car, if you want to get a home, guess what? Your stuff is going to go through really, really smooth and quick because you are low risk. They say this person takes care of their business. Yeah. Why would they change now?
Right.
We see that history has told their story. Your credit report is your story.
Wow.
People don't realize that, but you're not going to sit down with a lender. You're not going to sit down with the finance company. You're not going to sit down with these people. They only see your numbers, your credit report. Your credit report is your picture. The biggest thing I ask people is, do you have a mug shot or do you have a glamour shot?
Oh, I like that. Do you have a mug shot or a glamour shot when it comes to your credit report? Wow.
Yes, you said it does not matter what you look like. You could be the most handsome or most beautiful person in the world. But if your credit is shaky, if you're at the limit or over the limit on your credit, if you have charged off accounts, if you have different things that you need to take care of, it's okay that it's a mugshot right now because guess what? You're still breathing.
Right.
As long as you're breathing this time, you have time to get things where they need to be.
Yeah.
So, you have to ask yourself, this is the thing that it doesn't have to be shared with other people. This is for you. You can always go to annualcreditreport.com. pull your credit report from all three bureaus and look to see where you are and what you have.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to tell yourself, look in the mirror and say, you know what? I got a mug shot. I'm working my way up to the glamour shot because I'm
You're working your way up.
I'm going to do this.
Yes.
And nobody has to know.
Wow.
Yes, your numbers tell them what they need to know about you. That is so true. Because that's what they're looking at. Your numbers speak volumes.
Yes, they do.
You could be nice. You could be sweet. You know, I remember I worked for a community bank and people would always bring us cookies and brownies and, you know, because they wanted the loan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like,
when you were nice.
There's only so much talking we can do on your behalf now. So, you know, it's all good. But I tell you, it's really good to first create a budget.
Okay.
Create a budget for yourself.
So that's the first step that you would say out of your situation is to create a budget.
You have to know how much money you have to work with in order to handle the things that are on your credit report.
Okay.
You have to know how much money you have in order to create a savings account.
Right.
If you go and open up a savings account and you didn't create a budget, you don't know what you can put in that account.
Yeah.
You know, so you don't want to get to a point where you open up a savings account, you put $100 in it, but you know you needed that $100 to pay your light bill.
Right.
That's not a savings account.
You're going to end up going to get it.
You don't want to do that. This savings account that I'm talking about is the one that you're going to create for emergencies. And this is the one that it needs to have a baseline amount in it of 6 months of your total bill.
Okay.
So your goal is to get to 6 months of your total bill. Once you get there, now it's okay to like continue to put money in it, but you can kind of wipe your brow because you've met the baseline.
Yeah.
So if anything was to happen, you know that you're taken care of for at least 6 months.
Okay.
Okay. Then the next thing you want to do after you have created a budget and you now understand whether you need to tweak that budget or not. Mm-hmm. So if you're overspending in one area, like I tell everybody today, cable is so many other options. That's a lot of money. And most times we can do, you know, a Fire Stick or, you know, we can get Hulu, we can get some of the other things, companies out there. And so we can reduce our bills and save anywhere from $100 or more a month.
Yeah.
Just by looking to see what we can do, you know, as far as saving on our bills.
Yeah.
You know, if you have subscriptions to magazines and other things, but you never read them, you don't even use them, cancel the subscription. If you you haven't been in 6 months, cancel the gym membership.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you are spending money in places, I do Philo for $20 cable. Y'all write that down. PHILO. $20 cable. Come on now.
Come on, y'all share these
resources.
That's
amazing. So we're looking at cable, and some people are paying $120, $130.
Yeah.
So look, we're giving you advice. Everybody help everybody. Right. So when you're looking at your savings account, looking and see how much you can put in it, it starts with the budget. When you get your budget in line and you understand what you can and can't spend, look at that budget based on your last month's bank statement, because now we're just looking at a worksheet to see what you've spent. Mm-hmm. You start creating a budget by understanding how you spend.
Yeah.
So go through your bank statement. If you spend on your credit cards, go through your credit cards as well.
Yes.
Write down your take-home pay. Subtract everything that you spent in that bank statement and those credit cards. Mm-hmm. Did you spend more than you make?
Did you have more month than money?
Did you have more month than money? If you did, it's time to reduce your spending.
Yeah.
It's time to find areas in your spending that you actually can reduce.
Right.
When you can reduce those areas, now you're saving money. Now you're creating wealth. And that's where we want the mindset to go. We want to get to a wealth mentality.
Yes, definitely so. Definitely
so after we've gotten to the point where we have that budget under control and we know how much we can spend, we know how much money we have to play with in order to look at our credit cards. And now we can look at our credit report.
Yes.
And how can we handle our credit? Everybody is in a different place with their credit.
Yeah.
So there is no blanket statement on how you're going to handle what you have.
Right.
But I can tell you, if you have accounts that are over the limit, let's get them under the limit. Yeah. If you have accounts that are above 30% of your limit, let's start reducing those. Not all at one time. Look up the snowball effect. The snowball effect will allow you to push most money onto one card until you get that one paid off while paying the minimum on the other cards. And then once you pay that card off, now you start applying that money to the next card until you get it paid off and continue to pay the minimum on the other cards. And then you continue to do that until you get your cards paid off.
Okay.
Now that usually works well if you start with the lowest amount first. Because you have a win quicker.
Yeah. I know from experience.
I like to win, you know? Yes. So I think it's much better if we start at the lowest balance first. Some people start with the highest credit interest rate. Because they want to reduce how much they're paying in interest.
Yeah.
So they don't look at the balance owed. They look at the interest rate and they tackle the highest interest rate first. Okay. For me, I like to see zeros. So I usually start with the lowest one, the lowest balance, and get that out of the way, and I get to the next one. But it's up to you how you do it.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is just do it.
Right.
Just do it. Now, once you've understood your savings, your budgets, now we're looking at your credit and we're looking at reducing your debt. Now, so we've talked about it all. We've talked about increasing your credit scores. So once you reduce your balances, once you tackle and pay things on time, guess what's going to happen? Your credit scores are going to increase.
Yes.
Now, for those who have filed bankruptcy and you've gone through that, that's okay too, because that's just a restart. That's a restart.
It is.
And so when you get to a point where you're at a restart, that's amazing. Now you can come out and you can now set a new foundation. Right. You guys, right now is the time to break up the foundation that you're standing on if it's not solid. And what I mean by solid is your credit scores are where they need to be in the 700 club or higher. You already have your savings set where you have at least 6 months of your bills in there, and you are paying your debt, but you're not over the limit. You know, you're where you can contain it, and you're working off of a budget. If you're doing things, you're in a space where you have a solid foundation that's going to create wealth for you because your mentality has changed. It's not all about spending every day. It's not all about having to, I got an extra 100 on my check. Now what can I buy? No, how can I apply it? Not what can I buy with it, but how can I apply it?
Yes.
Am I going to apply it to my savings account to get to that 6-month goal? Am I going to apply it to my credit card to get under 30% of my debt? Am I going to apply it in any way to pay towards the principal on my car so I can reduce the months that I have to pay on that? How am I going to apply it? Can I take care of handling what I have before I start adding to it?
Yeah.
Because once we get to that mindset, that mentality, then we set ourselves up to be able to do whatever we want to do, how we want to do it, when we want to do it. Let me tell you something about level playing fields.
Level playing field. All right.
What I've learned is in working for Operation Hope is that it's about the civil rights movement. That was the next step that Martin Luther King was going to take right before he passed away. The civil rights movement.
Civil rights movement?
Yes. Creating a leveled playing field by understanding how your money works. Making it work for you, understanding how to invest, making sure that you had what you needed in order to get what you need.
Yeah.
And you can do that. Nobody can actually put you down. Nobody can make you feel less than. The discrimination that a lot of us feel or go through can't happen if our money is right,
Yeah.
our finances are right, if our credit is right,
Yeah.
if we understand how to invest, if we understand how to build a new playing field on a level ground that will not only help us, but that will help our generations to come.
Right.
So when we talk about creating wealth, this is not just for us. Wealth is generational. Being rich is
Right.
just for you. But
Ooh.
wealth is generational.
Ooh, that's good. That's good, Tracey. I like that.
Yes, I mean, wealth
Wow.
is what I like, you know. And I know
Yeah.
I've been talking quite a bit, so if you all have questions, let us know.
But no, that was really, really good. I think all of the information that you provided was very, very powerful. We're definitely gonna have to do another part. We got to do another addition to this because I personally know and can testify that you coaching me, you've totally changed my financial picture. And at one point in time, to be honest, because finances wasn't something, and so while we're talking, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. So go ahead and either put your questions in the comment, or I can send you the link and you can actually join us on online. So let me know, raise your hand if you want the link and I'll send it to you. But yes, so what was I saying? I'm sorry. But yeah, my financial picture has changed. But at one point in time, Tracey, I didn't even think it was possible. So I got stuck in this cycle where I thought that this is it. I mean, this is, you get paid, you pay bills, and if you really want to have something to have a vacation, you don't pay your bills and you deal with it on the back end. But why can't I pay my bills on time? And why can't everything be on time? And why can't I still have a vacation, all expenses paid?
Right. Right.
Why can't I have that? And my I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done for me. You have really, really, really coached me and totally changed my mindset. And I am not going to cry, but it's freeing. It's freeing to know that I have options, that I can
Yeah.
pick and choose. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I don't, and anybody listening to this right now, let me just tell you, I don't care where you are financially. I don't care how much debt you have. If you take the necessary steps, you can change it. It's possible.
Yeah.
Now, I know Donnell specifically, he has some questions. Donnell, are you still here? If you're here, go ahead and get your questions in and we can go ahead and Tracey can go ahead and answer those. Or if you all that are watching, if you have questions, go ahead and let us know. We're going to wrap this up. And I really, 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 really encourage you all to take advantage of this resource that is Tracey Powell. She's bad. All right. So Donnell said, my frustration is thinking I have a credit score based on experience, as an example, but then I go somewhere like a car dealership and they come back and tell me my score is something else. That is frustrating. And Tracey,
Yes.
we've
Yes.
talked about that as well.
Yeah.
So can you speak to that,
It's
please?
very frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. I can tell you the reason that
no, go ahead. Go ahead. I wanted you to address that. Yeah.
oh, okay. The reason that is because when we have like Credit Karma, or we have the Experian app, or we have, different apps to show us our credit scores, they're not weighted. There's no weight on that score. So it's giving you a ballpark figure of what your credit score is going to be. But if you go to a car dealership to buy a car, they're going to weigh your score more so on the installment loans that you had before. If you've had car loans before, or anything like that, it's going to weigh it differently. If you apply for a credit card, your score is going to be different. It's because it's weighing it more on your revolving debt as opposed to your whole profile as a whole. If you go to get a mortgage, your credit score for a mortgage is gonna be different than what you would see if you just pull your scores yourself. I always tell people the scores that you pull, whether it's through Experian or Credit Karma or any of the other sites that help you with scores, that's a baseline.
Okay.
But I can tell you that your score could fluctuate, and it could be anywhere from 3 to 30 points different.
Ooh,
You know
that's
what
a
you're
big
applying for.
difference.
Just depending on what you're applying for, and depending on how they score you. So if you're going for cars, if you have a solid car history, your score
Mhm.
will be higher than someone who's never had a car, or if they had a repossession, or if they had scores that were low because they had low payments or
Mhm.
late payments on the car.
Yeah.
So it's based on when you look at pulling your credit and looking at your score without applying for something,
Mhm.
understand that's a baseline, and it's a guide to let you know that you are in this ballpark area. But
Right.
it's not actually going to be what your score is going to be if you were to apply for what have you, like a car or a credit card or a home or something like that.
So is there somewhere or some source that you can get like an actual true picture of what your credit is?
No.
Like I guess that we, the normal regular consumer, would
If
have
you
access
if you go directly to the source, like if you're going directly to annualcreditreport.com, you say I want to order my credit scores with
to.
my
Mhm.
credit reports, they do
Yeah.
charge,
Yeah.
but you can get your scores, and that's coming directly from the actual credit reporting agencies.
Okay. Okay. Um, do you ever recommend Identity IQ for monitoring your score? Is it the same as what you're talking about?
Yeah,
That's a good question.
I have clients that use Identity Q, and it does help them monitor their score. Uh,
Mhm.
it's not the same as what I'm talking about, but it is very similar.
Mhm.
What I was talking about is basically going directly to um, the site itself and just purchasing you get your credit reports free, but they will give you your scores for cost. But those
Mhm.
scores are coming directly from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. You are getting these questions in. Hey, Jasmine, how are you? She said that she uses Identity IQ. Okay.
Yeah, I have people that use it and they love it. So
Really? I've never heard of it. So I'll look it up this evening.
she's someone. Okay, I like
Huh?
her.
You
Oh
said
no,
what?
I'm being nosy. I'm looking at Jasmine's thing. It
Oh,
says
wait,
she's
wait.
someone, and it's like mother, sister, daughter,
Oh,
wife.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I love Jasmine. Listen, she is somebody to know.
Okay, okay. But
She said hi.
before we lose our time, can I just
Yeah.
say one thing? I
Yes, yes, please, please.
want people to know that no matter where you are. Okay, well, before I say that, yeah, I can talk then. So Janelle said, can you talk about secured card versus unsecured card? For those people who are wanting to establish credit or reestablish credit, a great way to do that is to get a secured credit card. The difference between a secured credit card and an unsecured credit card is that you're going to put money up for the secured card. And that way, whatever you put up in most instances is going to be your limit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's showing that, okay, I don't have credit or I've had mishaps in the past and I want to reestablish my credit. So if you would give me a card with your company and I'll give you this money to put in a savings account to hold while I establish my scores and rebuild my credit. In that respect, you have a lot of companies out there. For instance, Capital One, they will look at you. Sometimes they only want you to give them $49,
Mm-hmm.
and there is no annual fee on that card, and they'll give you a $200 limit to actually get you started. Most companies have an annual fee for secured credit cards, but it does help you. So you want to do your research to make sure. First of all, I would look to see which ones don't have an annual fee.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are some banks that will give you a card. There's an annual fee, but what they do is, as long as you pay on time for 6 to 12 months, and you've kept your balances low, they will automatically turn that secured card into an unsecured card, and they will send you your money back.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so it depends on the company that you go with. So even if you do look for a credit card to reestablish your credit or establish credit, and you're being told that you need to do a secured credit card, do your research on the company. Make sure that they, first of all, check to see what their fees are.
Yeah.
Is it a one-time fee or is it an annual fee? Do they review your information to switch it from secured to unsecured? Do you get your money back? You know, what happens if you default? Are there default fees? And then you just want to make sure that you're getting the right area. So an unsecured card is a card that you get based on your credit, and you don't have to put any money down to get it. So,
Okay.
you know, what's your follow-up question, though?
Donnell coming with it, ain't he? You know what? But I appreciate, and Carl has a question too, and I'll put his question up. But I appreciate people taking advantage of platforms and situations like this, because that tells me you're going to take this information and you're going to change your financial future. And we want to know what you did and how this conversation benefited you. So please let us know that. Yeah. What's your follow-up question, Donnell? And let's see. And Jasmine said she got a secure card and a self-lender just to increase her scores and put her Netflix on auto pay. That's the same thing you told me to do.
I was about to say, she already know.
You already know.
That's it. That's it. That's what you do.
That's what you told me to do. Yep. Carl asks, explain the different credit agencies and why there are 3 of them.
Okay, so you have Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. They each have a region. And so if you are from the South or Georgia or whatever, most of your creditors that you apply to are going to report to Equifax. If you are in a different region, most of them will report to Experian. If you are coming from California or in that area, most of that is going to be TransUnion. So
really? It's regional?
Yeah. And wow. But some companies report to all 3, some don't. And so that's why you have a discrepancy in scores. The score is not going to be the same with the different agencies, because if you pull all 3 credit reports, you will see that everything that you have is not going to be on every single credit report.
Right.
And you also have to know that credit reporting agencies are not government agencies. These are private agencies that the lenders are reporting to. And the way they calculate your score is going to be different, because they may not have that card that you've been paying on great. You know, it may not be on the TransUnion, but it's on Experian. So Experian score may be a little bit higher than TransUnion because they don't have that credit that you had where you were paying great. They may have a credit card that was 2 months late. And so that score may be a little bit lower than the other. So you have 3 different agencies. They are regional, but some creditors report to all 3. Some only report to some. And if you pull your credit, you'll see some things are not going to be on all 3 reports.
Yeah, and I've learned to ask that question. So when you're getting credit, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong, Tracey, I would rather them report to all 3. And so I have had situations where I'll ask, okay, do you report to all 3 credit bureaus? And they'll say, no, we only report to Equifax. So would you suggest, when like getting lines of credit and things of that nature, that they report to all 3 bureaus?
Some companies just don't. I mean, they don't subscribe to reporting to all 3. So they may only report to 1. I've heard that the credit history that you build with your secured card does not follow you when and if you get converted to unsecured. Yeah, it does follow you. If it converts to a secured card, an unsecured card, then you still have that history. You're not losing it. It's staying the same, and it will follow you. Now, what doesn't follow is if you have a secured card and you close it once you get an unsecured card. Once you close that debt no longer has an effect on your credit because you've closed it down. So it's best to get a secured card that will convert to an unsecured card. So it's not giving you various trade lines. It's going to be the same trade line, which means the same account that you're going to see on your credit report. I
Yeah.
can, that's one question that you really want to ask when you're looking at a secured card is after I've had this card for a while and I've paid on time and I've kept my balances low, will you consider converting this to an unsecured card? Not closing this down.
Yeah.
But allowing it to shift into unsecured where you send me my money back.
Okay.
Because Donnell, you're right in the fact that it will not follow you if in the conversion they close the secured card and open a new card. Because you don't want to close an account, especially an account that's new or recent within the last 24 months that has had good payment history.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you close it, you wipe it out of being considered in your score. So that's why they tell you it's okay to pay credit cards off, but don't close them.
That's good.
So once you close them, you erase that history.
Wow, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to know. We rolling, and we'll wrap this up. Let's see. Do you recommend any financial literacy books? And I hope you remember what you were going to say. Please don't forget what you were going to say.
Okay, let me. Okay, there is a book called "What Had Happened Was." If you're looking to do any kind of purchasing or what have you, especially if you want to purchase a home, there is a book called "What Had Happened Was."
What had happened was,
and it's by Clyde Anderson.
Okay, What Had Happened Was by Clyde Anderson.
Yes, it's a great book. It's an easy read. It's wonderful. There's another book called The Memo. The Memo is by John Hope Bryant.
The Memo.
John Hope Bryant is the founder and CEO. Well, he's the founder of Operation Hope.
Okay.
So he is the reason why I'm able to go and help people reestablish themselves and create wealth for themselves. And, it's just an awesome organization. So not only are you looking at the memo, but also look up Operation Hope to see what we do in various communities. But also check out What Had Happened Was. You can get that on Amazon by Clyde Anderson. He's a great guy. He's a motivational speaker. If you want to actually meet with me one-on-one, yes, I will give my number. It is 678-653-0117.
Hold on. You said it's 678.
653.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, 678
653
653
0117.
117.
But I don't want y'all to forget though. I do a lot. So I do the financial well-being coaching with Operation Hope. I also am a realtor with Keller Williams. I also have a nonprofit that I'm working on called Thrive Now 7-8. And it's building a strong foundation of wealth mentally, spiritually, financially, and relationally.
Excited about
and that. I am somebody who wants to tell everybody about what they can do to be financially set free.
Yes.
Because I believe in freedom. And we choose whether or not we're free.
Yeah.
With our actions, with our words, with our affirmations, and with all that we do. So I just truly believe each one teach one. Everybody, take this information. I hope it's been helpful. If it has, then please share it with others. And if there's anything, another book, Think and Grow Rich. That's a great book too.
Oh, wait, what is it?
Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich.
Yes.
I've heard of that book. Who's the author again?
Look, he just left my mind.
It's not Robert Kiyosaki, is it?
Think and Grow Rich book. The Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich was written by Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon Hill. Okay. All right. So this is what we'll do. And Carl, I do see that question that you put up. So what I will do is, Tracey, if it's okay with you, I will email you the questions that we didn't get to, so we can get those answers. But we'll go ahead and transition into our final thoughts. Okay. And you can share, hopefully you didn't forget what you were going to share last time. I'm going to make you full screen. Share your final thoughts, and we'll go ahead and wrap up. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
All right. And you have just been phenomenal. And so, yes, we do have to plan a part 2. All right. Okay. And there you go, woman of God.
Well, my final thoughts are just this: plain and simple. Be all that you can be. Be the best person that you can be. Wake up every day and ask yourself, have I done all that I can do to be all that I can be? And it all starts with looking to see where you are in your finances, in relationships to your health, in relationships to everything that will take you to the next level. So, food for thought is just, budget, save, spend wisely, help others, and strive for better on tomorrow than what you have. And if you have questions or need help, I am willing and able.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Tracey. You have been absolutely phenomenal. I am so thankful that you were here. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. And I want to tell you, thank you for coming on. And I will be sure to share your information. Of course, it's up there on the screen. And I will forward you that one question that we didn't get to. Sounds good?
Sounds great. And thank you so much for having me. I love you for all that you do.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you are a beacon of light and that you've opened this platform up for all of us to be able to share. And you have phenomenal people on all the time. And I've learned so much from just watching the videos. But I know it's not my final thought. I already did it. But I just wanted to say thank you for giving us this platform, because it's truly a wonderful place to be. And I hope that all of your listeners feel the same way and that they've gotten something out of today. But you are such a blessing to others. And I just praise God for you and all that you do. So thank you again.
Thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you. All right. Take care, okay?
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. So I really hope that you all were blessed. Carl, thank you for being here. Donnell, thank you for your questions. Chantel, I hope that you got her information. I hope that you all got it. Yes, Think and Grow Rich. We put the contact information up there for her. Y'all, I just want to see all of us win. All right. And we can do that. You can transform your finances. They can be beautiful. You can change your financial picture. Don't ever feel as though that you are so beat down and run down that you can't change your situation, because the truth of the matter is that you can. So I'm going to give my final thoughts. My final thoughts is this. I want to encourage you to not be afraid to look at your finances. It can be scary initially, because you think that you've done so much damage, or you think you can't tackle it, but you can. But you have to start somewhere. I pulled my credit report. That's right. That's right, Chantel. You will win. And Nancy, please go back and watch the replay. The information was rich. And I'm definitely going to have her on again. But I just want you all to know that as I give my final thoughts as we prepare to close, is that you have the ability to win in your finances. Pull your credit report. You cannot be afraid to face what you've done. You cannot be afraid to look at the picture. Like she said, your credit report is either a mug shot or it's a glamour shot. And if it's a mug shot, it's probably because you just didn't know any better. And you have the ability to change it, but you also have to be willing to confront it. When I pulled my credit and I started on my credit journey, it was scary. I'm going to just be real honest with you. But looking at my credit today and then looking at my credit 3-4 years ago, the picture has changed. It is completely different. and it's beautiful and it looks much better. And I feel like I'm in a better situation to actually change my situation to be wealthy and to have generational wealth. And it's gonna be better for my kids, it's gonna be better for my husband, it's gonna be better for our family. It is going to be better all the way around. So I just want to encourage you to confront what you may not want to confront. Call those credit bureau, those creditors, the people that you may owe, dispute and negotiate, and I am telling you, you can change the picture. Nancy, what'd you say? I've been doing the snowball effect. Yes, and we did talk about the snowball effect, which is very, very powerful. And I'm on track to paying off my bad debt, all but student loans. And you know what? And I believe that you're going to get rid of the student loans too. Those have to go as well. So I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope and pray that this blessed you. Please inbox me, comment, let me know if this was information that you found valuable. You all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I love you all. You take care, and congratulations on your financial transformation. And this has been I Am a Morning Coffee, where God is our barista, praise and worship is our cream and sugar, and Tracey Powell was our coffee. You all take care and have a wonderful evening.